I want to shift into some truly hyped up and fun stuff because I personally think that Marvel Studios is basically sending Thunderbolts out to die. They don't really care what's happening now. It's all about Doomsday. All of their eggs are in the Doomsday basket. I think Doomsday has to basically save Marvel Studios. And when I say that, what I really mean is if Marvel wants to get back to the point where they can make damn near billion-dollar movies multiple times a year, right? So I'm talking about like 700, 800 million, billion-dollar movies multiple times a year, then they have to not just kind of win some fans back, they have to like get back to that top position within the zeitgeist. They have to be like the coolest fucking thing. And I truly think the only chance they have to do that is Doomsday. Doomsday will be a movie that should easily make over $1 billion. I think it should easily make more money than Deadpool and Wolverine. That will present an interesting opportunity where you have more Marvel fans than ever coming back to check Marvel Studios out and kind of see what's going on there. If they like it, if they're hyped, they will stick around, and that will carry over into the X-Men saga, the Mutant saga, etc. Okay? So, let's talk about some of these updates because they're pretty wild, all right? So, filming underway, Avengers Doomsday spaceship set being built at Windsor Great Park. Okay, and these are some schematics there. So, reading in the article, it says Marvel's Avengers Doomsday is currently filming in Bahrain. As cast members, blah, 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 were recently spotted dining together at a restaurant. So, here's the image here. And this is a beautiful place, though. It's a little island in, I guess, near China in the Middle East. And I don't know too much about it. I looked at some of the buildings they have there, though. It's beautiful. It looks kind of high-tech. Almost like a little mini Abu Dhabi thing going on in some of their cities. So I wonder if they're filming something, some advanced city or something like that. Who knows for sure? But there's more here that's really interesting. Following this, the next phase of filming is scheduled to take place at Windsor Great Park in the United Kingdom on June 15th, June 18th, and then again on June 26th to the 27th. According to slawobserver.co.uk, Marvel Studios has recently applied for permissions through All Time Productions, that's the production company making Doomsday, to film Avengers Doomsday in Windsor Great Park for a period of 6 months. The set includes a 1960s themed bungalow called Luke Cage House, which is probably a placeholder name, with a spaceship attached, which is currently under construction. So this right here looks to be the schematics. Has shared an image of the set being built at Pinewood. So this is the actual image of the set being built. And then this is like the schematics of it, probably from production, right? And I think a lot of the names being used on here is like all bullshit. So I don't think the Luke Cage thing means anything at all. But it is kind of interesting that they're filming all over these different locations. And I think for me, like the first thing that's wild about this is they just delayed this movie by 7 months. And yet they're full steam ahead still. It's not like they're really recalibrating it as far as we understand it. They're still just doing the shooting schedule that they had. So perhaps with this 7-month period, what you're really looking at is fine-tuning some of the visual effects, maybe some top secret shooting stuff that'll happen on sound stages or something like that. You know how Marvel does that. You could just have big additions to the reshooting schedule, which probably makes the most sense. You know, you have characters like Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda that are said to be a big part of it, but she's apparently filming something else right now. I think they still probably want Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the film, and in fact, I think the delay makes that far more likely. You know, part of the reason Tom Holland might not have been in Doomsday was because of conflicts with his schedule. But now you get this extra month period, extra long. So I think that that's probably what you're looking at there. But it's just fascinating that they delay the thing 7 months, and yet Monday they're back to work and they're filming. So they're filming in this place here with some advanced futuristic looking buildings. Could be like, you know, even some, I've heard maybe it's some Wakanda stuff or alternate universe Wakanda, right? Because we've seen some things that might imply different T'Challa in this movie. So maybe that's what they're filming here. That could be pretty cool. Some big time rumors about Wakanda out there. That would be really fun. This 1960s house, right? This is this is kind of interesting. So the first thing that comes to mind, of course, is the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four, they are in a retro-futuristic 1960s. They may or may not have actually been in the MCU during the 1960s. Like, there's a lot of weird rumors about what that could be. This could also be going back in time to the 1960s, right? Because we think the TVA and the Void is going to be a big part of this. So I'm curious about all of that. And then there's the spaceship element. Okay? We keep hearing about these spaceships, dude. Like, what are these spaceships? There's apparently one or maybe a couple on the big X-Men set outside of the X-Mansion. There's apparently one going to be connected here. And I guess I would imagine, depending on how sprawling and how crazy this thing is, you would need your characters to be jumping around. So is this the Avengers in a spaceship, like a Quinjet or something that's flying around to different planets, different even potentially times? I'm not really sure. Is it Doctor Doom and his Illuminati or Cabal as they're flying around to these different locations? I'm not really sure. Is it the Fantastic Four? We're going to have to find out because it could be more than one Fantastic Four in this movie as well. So all of that's really crazy. One other thing I want to add to this section here. Daniel RPK recently said that the Void, meaning the place where all the matter gets destroyed, the place that's in Loki, and then the place that is in Deadpool and Wolverine, that location is apparently going to be incredibly important to Avengers Doomsday. And I started to think, like, man, guys, this movie is so big. It's so crazy. There's so much that we don't know. And I'm fascinated by these different places that they're filming. I don't know if I really anticipated the Void itself being a big part of this movie. Like, if you think about it, you got 616, right? Then you've got the X-Men universe. You've got the TVA. You've got potentially, like, other universes. And then, the Void. But then it's like, okay, you try to think of how can the Void play this huge role? Well, maybe some of the other characters we're hearing about, like your Ghost Rider that we're going to talk about in a little bit here. Maybe even the Spider Boys. There's so many other characters that if Marvel just wants to be in the movie, the best way to explain that is via the Void. Because it seems like what's going to happen is incursions are continuing to happen. Universes are being destroyed. Well, what happens when the universe is destroyed? They end up on the Void, right? Like, maybe they end up if they get pruned, but I would imagine being killed in an incursion, there's no way all of that matter can just be destroyed there either. So then they would end up just there because there's stuff on the Void that just gets dumped, like the Fox logo, all the stuff in the Easter eggs that we saw from Loki season 1, which, by the way, one of them was a Hydra helicarrier, which I always thought was so cool and I thought would connect to Hydra Captain America. So kind of wild stuff here, guys. Updates about Doomsday. And man, they're just doing so fucking much right now. Half of the crew or some of them are filming on an island right now. They're building these sets. They're going to be shooting on the Void. They're filming, by the way, another addition to this. They're filming on some big estate. And a lot of people think it's going to end up being Latveria and Doom's Castle, which was confirmed to also play a role. So, dude, what the hell is this movie? I have so many questions, and I kind of can't believe that they delayed 7 months and, like, everything's just still going. Like, seriously, imagine that. I remember Kenobi, right? They had a similar delay. They fired everybody and told them to go home, and then they reworked the scripts. Doomsday is full steam ahead, and they have an extra 7 months. So, wild. Just wanted to update you with regards to all of that. And let me know, of course, if you have any questions. What do you think the 1960s house could be? What do you think's up with these spaceships? What do you think's up with the Void, right? What do you think they're filming at this futuristic island over in the South Pacific? Like, what the hell is going on? What do you think about it? Let me know. And I would love to if you figure something out, please let me know, because I'm like super confused about a lot of this. Thanks for watching, and if you like this clip, smash a like on the actual video and subscribe to this channel. That way more of these clips get into your feed. I've also linked the full episode below if you want to check out the entire thing, including the Q&A we do with fans. You can also watch this show live. We do it live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can also find all of my content, including the videos I put on my main YouTube channel, on the podcast feed.